to Atlanta, and I saw him arrive there, so I had that experience, thankfully. I said, what should we talk about? And you said, talk about what it felt like. And for me, it was overwhelming. I was a very new devotee. I had been initiated for 9 months. You know, I was low man on the seniority roll. I felt like I didn't know anything. And I just wanted to get to know this person, Srila Prabhupada. And it was hard, because he was surrounded by a lot of men, and there was not a lot of chance for me to get close to him in that way. But it was really overwhelming preparing for his arrival. The temple smelled like paint when he arrived. You know, it was still drying, I think, in some parts. You remember that too?
I don't remember the smell.
And Brisa Kapi was, he was the driving force for Prabhupada having come here, and we were just doing whatever Brisa Kapi told us to do. And I remember very well the day that was referred to up on the hill earlier regarding the cake. And some of you may have heard my cake story before, or this cake story, but I don't know if I've ever told you the purport to the cake story. The cake was huge, and there was a brief sort of sliver of, you could see the cake, and the cake was cooked in that kitchen, and it was not able to fit through that door. And no one knew that until it came time to carry the cake through that door. What to do? Do you remember this? And the windows are different now, but someone looked at the windows. The windows we had then, they came out like this. They didn't go up and down. And the windows were wide enough that the cake could come in through the window. So we got the cake in through the window, presented it. It was presented to Srila Prabhupada. And in this crowd, I can see a lot of you are not Westerners by origin or by culture, but in Western culture, at least here in the United States, the guest of honor is handed the cake cutter to cut the cake. And so the devotees who were there with Prabhupada and presenting him with the cake gave him, and I could sort of see there was a little bit of confusion. You want me to, cut the cake? Yes, Srila Prabhupada. And I was charmed because he cut a square piece of cake out of a round cake. I just thought that was thrilling to me for some reason. But later, I was told, and this is in purport, he had mentioned to whoever his servants were at that time, that it wasn't very nice to ask the spiritual master to serve the disciples. And that really hit home to me, that even in a simple act of our intentions were one thing, but there was a lesson to be learned. And Prabhupada, I was fortunate to hear, the lesson behind the experience. But he was gracious, at the moment in time when it was happening, he was willing to be told what to do. Because he did. You sort of remember this, right? And really that's my big story that I can share about Prabhupada being here, because I wasn't here, during the day. and I was so young and so unrealized about the importance of what was actually happening here. It's more like I was going along for the ride, and it's only in retrospect that I have come to understand how lucky we were that he came here. He didn't go to every temple that was around at that point in time, but he came here. This place is a holy tirtha on a whole nother level because of that. His feet touched this ground. His feet sat here. And we all have benefited from that. And we're all grateful, for that experience. So when you circle back, I'll just pass the microphone around. But here you go.
So a little back on the cake story. So they made this beautiful cake with mangoes from our temple in Florida, I think Coconut Grove. The devotees brought mangoes. But they had decorated cows on the cake. And Prabhupada was very gracious. He called all the devotees that made this cake and thanked them, and it was a perfect gentleman. But later that night, Rupanuga personally told me this. Rupanuga was the GBC. That Prabhupada said, actually, it was very inappropriate to put cows on a cake and then cut it up and distribute it. I mean, that's how sensitive Srila Prabhupada was. Even in LA, everyone, I don't know if you have kids, but they maybe still make them. They have those animal crackers that come in a box that have like a parade or some circus thing. Prabhupada didn't even like the devotees buying their kids, even though there's no eggs or no meat in it, animal crackers, because he didn't want them to eat animals. So it's something as subtle as that. But Prabhupada, that's how caring he was.
You can keep the mic.